Hello from Southern Ontario, April 29th today. Another vid on silver. Now, I've been following this on the internet, and let me explain some things, my layman's interpretation of what's going on. You may have heard the term fiat currency. All that means is paper money. Doesn't matter whose it is, Canada's, the States, etc., all over the world. Now, in the last year, just in the last year, the amount of paper money or fiat currency on a global level has increased by 40%. That's right. Here in Canada, the Trudeau government is printing $3 billion a week, which, if you do the math on 52 weeks, comes to, well, exactly what they claim the deficit is in their recently published, what do you call it? The fiscal, financial, the economic statement. The States has just printed trillions of dollars. Excuse me. I don't know how much it totals percentage-wise on their gross national product. Turkey uses the lira, and I don't know how Turkey ends up being a big player on the world market, but their fiat currency is inflating. They've instructed all of their jewelers in the country to turn in their gold. Little bit of history, almost a side note. We don't have any gold in Canada. Trudeau sold it all for $50 an ounce as soon as he was in power. Why is he printing $3 billion a week? Well, it's because nobody will lend us any more money. How much did he borrow over the last year? I don't know if anybody knows, but it's well on top of that $364 billion that he's borrowed. So, what does this mean to silver? Well, my interpretation of the videos I've been watching of, let's call it the silver players' interpretation, we're consuming more of it than we're harvesting. Medicine uses it, high tech uses it, silly electric cars use it, etc., etc. So, a little more explanation. This is real silver. Clink, 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 clink. It's in hand. You can buy silver in the form of paper, and you'll pay less per ounce than you will the physical silver, because they don't have to mint it, they don't have to ship it. You just have a piece of paper that says you own silver. Now, London is the biggest holder of silver for the public in the world, and they came within a hair of having a run put on them that they couldn't supply the physical silver because people aren't wanting the paper anymore. They want the hard currency in hand, currency being the silver, because they don't trust the fiat money. Excuse me. So COMEX, the commodities exchange, has had to release a huge amount in volume / weight of silver. It's coming out May 1st. So that physical silver demand isn't overrun. I don't know what the weight is. I was watching that earlier and should have wrote it down. It really doesn't matter. They're releasing it because they're going to run out of physical silver. Again, people changing their paper into the real silver. So, why is a lot of money worldwide and a lot of money in the States going into silver and, to an extent, gold and bitcoins, cryptocurrencies? Why? Well, because A, they don't trust paper money, fiat paper, and B, and you'll see it here in Canada, every time we print money, our money is devaluated. It's called inflation. Trudeau's a master at it. Your food bill's gone up 20% over the last year. Lumber 3 to 4 times, etc., etc. Fuel, hydro, you name it. So your dollar is worth less and less. Here's another point you might want to note. The Canadian government, you can thank Trudeau for this as well, they changed the law that they can take your assets, they can take the money right out of your bank if they think they need it. Oh, don't believe me? Check it out, it's a fact. And the banks don't want us having this in hand because it means they don't have it there to lend out, make interest, and create inflation. If you go to tdpreciousmetals.com, you'll see the prices for this kind of silver coins, gold. I'm not sure if they have platinum and other precious metals or not, but try and buy it. It's difficult. The banks have been instructed not to sell us physical silver and gold. They don't want the citizenry having it in hand because they don't get their cut of the pie, they can't control it, and they can't confiscate it. Or should I say, steal it from you. For example, I recommended to a friend that she buy silver. She went to her TD bank, and the bank manager blatantly told her, "We don't sell it. What are you talking about? Never heard of it." Well, that's a blatant lie. Another friend of mine in a previous video, he'd bought a gold coin from RBC, and the bank manager and the entire teller staff weren't even aware that they sold it. That they or you or anybody could walk in and buy it. So, the bottom line, well, let's talk about money for a minute. I just checked today's silver spot price, Canadian dollars, $32.32. I just ordered 40 rounds through a private individual who deals in coins and precious metals. Sorry, I'm unwilling to disclose his location, for $37. The TD Bank shows 41 and change to purchase it. Now, your question is, why would you pay $41 or $37 for something that's worth 32 and change? Well, there's a handling fee. They have to make their money. And when you sell it, there's a handling fee as well. So it looks like, let's say, I'm paying $37. I actually paid $37 for all of this as well. And to sell it, I'm going to lose a little more money. So I'd actually lose about almost 30%. Well, I didn't buy it for short-term speculation. I bought it for longer-term speculation. Go on and watch some of these guys with their silver sites, let's call it. You know, Google silver speculation, whatever, it'll take you somewhere. Historically, silver has been 1/6 the price of gold. My buddy just paid, let's call it $2,200 for his ounce of Canadian gold in Canadian money. Well, 1/6 of that would be almost $400, doesn't it? And if you go to those silver speculation sites, let's call it, in the States, you'll see that the big banks, and JP Morgan is a big player in it. Have you heard that name? JP Morgan goes back a long ways. Remember the economic meltdown in the States a few years ago? JP Morgan's one of the big banks, really big banks. JP Morgan and Wall Street are trying to deflate the price of silver. They've actually managed somehow or another, I don't understand it, I don't need to understand it, to actually run the price of silver down slightly, because again, they don't want the populace having physical silver, or gold for that matter, in hand, because again, they don't make any money off of it and they can't control it. So bottom line, the reason I'm making this video is for my subscribers. I'm not even going to put it on YouTube. I'll put it on my YouTube channel, but I won't put it on Facebook. If you've got $100 or $1,000 or $10,000 that you can spare, I mean, you know, I don't go out and spend your rent money on this and think it's going to go up next week. But they can't take it from you. They can't come and get this physical silver from you because, well, could have got lost in a boating accident. You could have gambled it away. But there's no way you're going to lose in, I wouldn't say long term, I'd say medium, moderate long term. So there you go. Make of it what you will.